ladies, Mac here, and today I'm talking about new content that is added in the GTA Online today, and also an event that's going on for GTA Online. So this is 6 new stunt races and 3 new vehicles that you can now buy and access in GTA Online today. So first off, there are 3 new vehicles in GTA Online right now. The first one is the Western Cliffhanger, which is this new sort of bike. You know, it's like a chopper bike. A little bit like the Gargoyle, and you know, if you know any Western vehicles, then it's going to be like that. There's also the Classe Drift Tampa, which is a different version of the Tampa. So yeah, I don't think you can bring this into Benny's, which is how I feel like that would have been, you know, because I heard about the Drift Tampa beforehand, and I was like, okay, so they're probably just going to add it in that. No, I think this is a completely separate vehicle, I guess. I'm not too sure yet. And then next up, finally, there's a new sports car, which is called the Ocelot Lynx. So I'm not too sure on the prices of the other 2 vehicles, but the Ocelot Lynx will cost you $1,750,000, which is very, very high for a sports car. This is actually a sports car, and it's not really that great of a sports car. I'll leave a link in the description to testing by Broofy1322. He tested out all these 3 vehicles, and really none of these vehicles are actually that great. Now, the Drift Tampa is actually, for some reason, in the sports category, even though the Tampa's, you know, in the muscle car category, so it's not very competitive there. The new Cliffhanger bike, it's decent. It's not anything too amazing, but it's not bad, I guess. It's kind of just middle of the road right there. And then the Ocelot Lynx is pretty bad. It's in the sports category, and it's pretty bad. I think on his testing it was 20th, and for $1.7 million, it's not worth it, in my opinion, and I don't think you should buy it. Or if you are going to buy it, don't buy it for speed. You know, you don't want to buy this car for performance. It's not that good for performance, at least from what I've seen from other people, and a lot of people have kind of gotten a little bit mad because it's a $1,750,000 car. $1.7 million, that's as much as a lot of the supercars, even more than some. So whenever you have a vehicle that expensive, it better be pretty good. And this car is not even that good. You can compare it to, say, a Massacro, and a Massacro will beat it, and that vehicle is only like $200,000, $300,000. So it's like, this car is not that great. So personally, while I've not bought it, and I'm not going to show off any gameplay of any of these vehicles, because I haven't bought any of them, because really they're not worth it, in my opinion. Just keep in mind and check out that video from Broofy1322 if you are interested in the performance on this, and if you are like concerned, will this vehicle even be any good, and you can check if that vehicle is great for you. But really, none of these vehicles are that great. I mean, they look good, but for like a racing scenario, you're not going to be doing too great, which is a little disappointing, because I'm a big fan of the Ocelot Lynx. I think it's a cool looking car, but then you see the performance on it, and it's like, it's not that great. But anyways, what I'm more interested in these new vehicles is the 6 new races that are added to GTA Online today. So there are 6 new races in GTA Online right now that you can go play. These are stunt races. So there's the first one, which is Afterburner. Now this was actually added into the game on Tuesday whenever the DLC came out, but I guess they took it out because it wasn't supposed to be there. But this one is a race with bikes where you have to like jump through hoops and stuff. It's pretty cool, and there's like rings of fire and stuff. It's very, very cool, and that's a bike race in the sky. Next up, there's another one called Double Loop for supercars. This one actually looks pretty nice. It's kind of just a supercar race. I don't know how different it is from the other supercars, but it's just a new race, and I think that's pretty nice. It's over Fort Zancudo as well, and that is for supercars. So the next race is called Forest, which is for bike, and this one is in the Woodlands, I guess in near Paleto Bay, and in that area. So I'm guessing that's in the Paleto Forest, which is pretty nice. So next up, there's a High Flyer, which is for bikes. So there's actually 3 races in here that are for bikes, so keep that in mind. So if you're not a big fan of bike races, this may not be for you, but there will be this race called High Flyer, which they say you will go around and over almost every skyscraper in central Los Santos. So yeah, you're going to be definitely very high. It's going to be a little bit similar to, I guess, Maze Bank Ascent. Next up is Trench 2, which is for muscle. So I guess this is, you know, Trench, the first version, which was on bikes. I was a big fan of the Trench race, honestly. I think that's a very fun race. And this one is for muscle cars. And if you remember the Trench race, then this one is going to be for muscle cars. It will be a little weird, though, because the last Trench race, Trench 1, was for bike. So like, how would this be different? I'm not too sure. But yeah, I haven't played any of these races, by the way. So after this video, I'm probably gonna go play them, check them out, and see what's going on with them. And then finally, there's a race called Zebra, which is for sports cars. And this one will be around Mount Chiliad. And honestly, I feel like this race is going to be a little bit like the Plummet race for supercars. But it'll be a little bit more like sports car oriented. So I think that's going to be pretty cool. And so those are the new races. I'd say go check them out in GT Online if you are interested for new races. Because while, yes, it's not a new creator or anything, that's coming out August 2nd. However, just new races is pretty nice. And I'm not too sure on whether these races are good. However, the races that were added in the original Cunning Stunts, they were pretty good. I really did not have many complaints with the races. So, yeah, it's going to be pretty nice to see how these races stack up. The only problem I had with the races that came with the DLC, there weren't many. There was only 16, so there just wasn't many. And that was pretty disappointing. And then finally, I want to talk about the discounts that are going on through July 25th. Now, there's no double money or RP this weekend, so that's pretty disappointing. Also, I think the premium races are gone, so I don't think that they're doing those again. However, there are a few things in GT Online right now, one of which is the silver jumpsuit. This is very similar to the Drock Cranley black jumpsuit, but this one's just silver. It's kind of nice, I guess. If you just log into GT Online, you'll get this. That will end on July 25th, so make sure you log into GT Online, get this outfit, because then it's going to go away. Next up is there's a 20% discount on all garages and properties with Garage. That continues this week, so that was last week. And then finally, there will be 20% off spoilers, wheels, tire smoke, skirts, exhaust, and horns. Horns, you could probably get a lot of money off of that, but other than that, some decent upgrades, but nothing that will really affect you too much aside from spoilers. All of the other stuff is cosmetic, so just keep that in mind. Whereas last week, I think, was it brakes and engine were a little bit off. So pretty cool stuff, and really, I'd suggest if you are interested in playing GTA, go check out the new vehicles, but, be wary of, the fact that they're not going to be super amazing, and that they're really not worth the money in my opinion. But if you are interested in those, go buy them, and also go check out the new races. So anyways, let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. Do you like the new vehicles? Let me know your thoughts on that in the comments. Hope you enjoy feedback, so inspiration. I'll see you guys in the next video.